2021, Murray Hills paid off this church building, and we became completely debt-free. It was an amazing feat for us. And so our elders and Pastor Russ just started praying about where we can put our newfound resources into ministries in the community. And so the following year, Hope Center Ministries, an addiction recovery ministry for men and women, came on our radar. So we began praying and doing some searching to see if that is what God had us. And they decided to move forward. And in December of 2022, we collectively raised $300,000 to officially launch that partnership. So that seed money went into Hope Center Columbia. So they went on into a down payment on a house. They were able to buy a van and then get other needed supplies to launch the home. And then last year, we raised $35,000 to do a build out of the garage, which Ricky will tell you about in just a little bit. So Ricky Brown is the director of Hope Center Columbia. It is a men's facility that we started here. And then Jesse Reyna is the recovery pastor of that ministry. So thank you both so much for all that you are doing for the men in recovery and just all the testimonies that we get to hear in the graduations throughout the year. So welcome on up and tell us a little bit more. Let's give him a hand. Ricky Brown.
All right, good morning, church. First and foremost, I had some notes up here, and I totally went off script first service, so I'm just going to wing it. I think it feels better when it comes from the heart. So first and foremost, I want to thank Murray Hills. I want to thank this community for everything y'all have done for us, for coming alongside of us and just being a part of what we're doing here. I wrote a scripture down, and I'm going to say that. But when I think of Murray Hills, I think of the verse Matthew 25:40. It says, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Whether it be our recovery program, mission trips to Belize, the Jetpack program, and many other things I've watched this church help with since being here, to me it just truly shows the servant heart of this church. And that's what it's all about. It's about more than just these four walls. And I'm thankful, and I know each one of these men are thankful to be a part of this church and for what you do here. A little bit about me. For the ones that don't know me, most of you do, but for the ones that don't, I struggled with meth addiction for 20 years. In and out of treatment centers, trying to find my own way, trying to figure it out, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. What I lacked was a relationship with Jesus Christ. And when I come into Hope Center Ministries, it gave me the opportunity to sit down, that year-long program, and to learn what a relationship with Jesus Christ looked like. And ever since then, it's changed my life. You know, I got the opportunity to intern after I completed the program, and then me and my family, we was ready to go wherever God was going to take us. I didn't know whether it's going to be Montana, Texas. I had no idea at the time. And then right as I was getting ready to go somewhere, the Columbia House opened up. And I was born and raised in Mount Pleasant. So I was kind of iffy on that, whether I wanted to be in this area. But God has blessed that in so many ways that I get to be here, be clean and sober, chase after Jesus, and help other men do that too. There's nothing better. So my family, I destroyed basically every relationship I had. My family, my wife and 3 kids, we actually divorced twice. We're the only people we've been married to, but we've been married 3 times. So, you know, but it's these last 3 years has been more than I could ever imagine. You know, it used to kind of upset me when I would hear people say, "Well, God's done more for me than I could ever believe." Well, I was like, "Yeah, you just don't know what I've been through." Until I got to the other side of it. When I got to the other side of it, I can sit here today and truly say God has done more for me than I ever thought possible, and that's a blessing. So a few things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about our garage remodel, a couple other projects we've had going on at the center, and then our gala. I don't know if there's some people here that's been to our gala. I think last year was our best year ever, and I believe this year is going to be even better. So with our garage, we started at the first of the year, the church come up with $35,000 to help us build this garage remodel. this garage remodel, we got started on it pretty quickly, and it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. It was before, it was just a shell. Basically, it was our catch-all. It just caught all of our excess. I think we had 4 or 5 washer and dryers in there that was just broken. But so we found this space and we turned it into basically a home. A home for 6 guys. Once they get on up in the program, closer to completing, they get to move out here, and it's just another step forward, right? You get a little separation from the house, from the other 21, 22 guys. So it's just a little bit of motivation. And we're thankful. We're thankful for this community, for this church, for everything you've done, for helping us do this. Some of the other projects that we've done was our step rail. When you walk in the house, we had a step rail there, and you kind of see the other side. It was kind of flimsy, and it was a big deal. So we're lucky enough to have one of our guys that has owned a construction company before, and that helped us build this, and we've been doing a lot more projects. So that's the finished product there. So in a couple months, when Mark completes, if anybody needs some remodel projects at their home, we got you. But also, we just started building this. We found out here recently we're going to have another intern come in. He just graduated Friday. So that was a big deal. So we're going to have 2 interns. We got one. Everybody knows Sean. Sean's been a huge blessing in our program. So we started building this last week. It's going to end up being an intern room for the 2 interns, and then Mark's obviously helped us build that too. But we're building a pantry onto the kitchen. That's part of that room there. So we're ready to mud. I think we're ready to tape and mud and then paint. We're getting pretty close. But then we also built a counseling room, and that's that room there. So the guys needed, some of the counselors come to the house. Some of them take them, but some of them come to the house, and we needed a space. So what we did, we closed that wall in, made a counseling room. So they got a little space where they can go, just meet with a guy, and just kind of get away from, separate from the house. But that's been a huge blessing. So upcoming, we've got our gala. We've got a lot of people in this church that is really, especially our women's group, and then I've had some people come up right after first service that want to help donate to the live auction also. But I would like to give the ladies that have helped us so far, a big round of applause, if we can. So there's a lot that goes into this gala. First we serve dinner, and then we do a live auction and silent auction. And then, of course, getting everything ready, getting everything set up. And the ladies here at the church have been tremendously helpful on getting these live or silent auction items and some live auction items. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. Last year I tried to do, other than the silent auction, I tried to do a lot of it on my own, and it was a lot. So, but I'm thankful that we have a community, that we have a church that wants to come alongside us and help us in every situation, in every aspect. So if you would like to come to this gala, you can come. You can buy a table for $500, or you can buy chairs or seats for $65. And then there's also sponsorship opportunities if you're willing to do that. I would love for everybody just to come and see what it's like. There's going to be testimonies. Cakes are going to sell for thousands of dollars. I'm going to speak it right now, right? And then, but it's an amazing night. You get to see what we're doing, more than just at church. So, if anybody would love to come, there's a QR code right there, and then we've got flyers out in the auditorium too. So if you would like to come out, just come out, stop by the table out front, and we can tell you more about it. I'm going to bring our recovery pastor, Reyna, up here, and he's going to tell you a little more. So.
Great job, brother. Amen. Good morning, church. My name is Reyna, and I get the privilege to be the recovery pastor here at your Hope Center. And I also get the privilege to play some drums back here, so I apologize for your ears. I like to make a lot of noise. But I would also say this. I want to give praise to our media team, because last service we had this little clicker, and it was off. But they did a great job at making it look like we were really doing it. They were changing the slides, and I think we got it on this time. I'm excited to share this morning because what I'm going to share about is the heart of hope. I want to share to you why we do what we do, the reason why this is so important, and why it really is an amazing thing that you have given to and what you have decided to be a partner with. It really is important because I'm sure you know someone, or you know someone who knows someone who has been affected by addiction. It is a problem in our communities. It is a problem in our country and in this world. It's an epidemic. Especially with the rise of fentanyl, people are dying a lot. And I'm going to share some statistics with you that may shock you today. All right, I'm going to share some statistics on just exactly how powerful this drug is and what it's doing to our communities and our families. So, let's see if I can get this thing to work wrong way. All right, so this is called an impact report. And what it is I'm going to show you some statistics about the impact addiction has had on the world, on the communities. And then I'm going to show you the impact that Hope Center is making. So, one person on average dies every 5 minutes from a drug overdose. 11 people on average die every hour from a drug overdose. And 264 people on average die every day from a drug overdose. And these numbers right here were gathered, I think, over a year ago. And I want to say that the numbers are rising. It's getting worse. It's something that's not getting better. Fentanyl is an awful drug that is being spread throughout our communities. And all it takes is one little tiny bit just to touch it. And you overdose and you can die from it. It's a terrible thing. And it's affecting children. Children they're getting younger and younger. And I want you to know that these numbers right here, this could be your family. This could be your children. And I don't want to see that. My heart is completely against that. It hurts to see this, to know that people are dying every single day from this drug. But that's why it's so amazing what we're doing at Hope Center Ministries, that you have given to something that is fighting against this, that is completely against what the enemy has concocted. So, these numbers here, residents served, this is ministry-wide numbers, 3,764 residents served in 2024. And what that means is, that 3,764 men and women were presented the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because if you walk through Hope Center Ministries doors, you're going to get the gospel. And you're going to get it in many different ways from many different people. And you're going to come to church. And you're going to go to Bible study. And you're going to do devotionals. And you're going to get in that Bible. So 3,764 people in 2024 got the message of Jesus Christ. They walked through the front door. And to me, I'm proud of that. That makes me happy to know that we're making an impact. Though it be small, we are doing something. And you're a huge part of that. 1,825 baptisms in 2024. And I want you to know at Hope Center Ministries, we are very dedicated to teaching the proper scriptures to the men before they choose to be baptized, to really walking with them and teaching them about salvation, about what it really means to walk with Jesus, about what it means to give your life and your heart over to Jesus before you make a commitment to get in the water. We're very dedicated to that. So that number there, 1,825, that's commitments to Jesus Christ, because we walk through them and we make sure that that's the decision that they want to make before they get in that water. So I love that. I love that we're making an impact, that we're getting people saved, that people who were once lost and addicted and broken and were in jail and in prison, that these people said yes to Jesus, right? It might not be their last time using. They might even end up going back out and overdosing, right? But at least we got the gospel message to them. At least we presented it to them. At least they heard it. At least they got in the water and they committed their life to Jesus Christ and said yes. That's what this is about. That's what my heart is for. I don't want to see people go to hell and die. I don't want that. I don't want people to die in their addiction and be lost forever. I want to see people changed. I want to see people healed. And that's what we do at Hope Center. That's our mission. And we're so grateful for all of you who have joined up with us, for everyone who supports these men and these women who are trying to change their lives. Our recovery volunteers, 1,695 people answer the call to volunteer their time to come out to the Hope Center. And let me tell you something. The volunteers are the lifeblood of what we do at Hope Center Ministries. We cannot do what we do without volunteers. It is impossible. Each man has a one-on-one mentor that comes and sits down with them every week for an hour and disciples them with the intention of discipling and teaching the scriptures exactly the way that they're presented in the Bible. And that's what it's all about. We have men who dedicate their time to come out early in the morning to come teach a Bible study. Each morning, we have guys who come out and they teach group counseling sessions. We have women who are dedicated to baking cakes, who are dedicated to helping in so many different avenues. There's so many people. It takes a community and it takes a church to back this thing. And I just want to say to everyone who is involved in supporting these men and to helping us, thank you. We cannot do it without you. We need you. And we also need more help. So if you have a calling on your heart that if this is something that you feel like you would like to be a part of, please come talk to me. I promise you there's something you can do. There's a way you can help out. And it doesn't have to be something difficult. Little things do matter. Family support. So as many of you know, addiction terrorizes the family. Whether it be the children in the life, the wife, the spouse, or parents, or any family member. It wrecks relationships. It destroys it. It destroys a life. And it destroys everyone around it. It's so destructive. So at Hope Center Ministries, one of our the most important things that we do is we really focus in on trying to reunite families get them back into the picture. Whether it be trying to help the men get through their legal situations to get their kids back into their life. Whether it be counseling and trying to get them back with their wife, with their spouse, to try and heal that relationship from the damage that they've done. Teaching them forgiveness. Teaching them about healthy conflict. Also going through and teaching the spouse as well about how to handle a person who's in the Hope Center and how to handle somebody who's going through addiction. That's what we're devoted to. That's what our heart is for. And we get to see it so often. I can't tell you how many stories of people who lost their children, who had them taken from them by DCS, and then they get them back. And to see that day when they come to family support and they finally get to see their kid, and their kid gets to see them sober for the first time in 10 years, that's a beautiful thing. Or you see somebody's wife come back into the picture when they've been lost and broken, and finally they get to see the light come back on in their eyes. Or a mother gets to see a son be himself for the first time in 20 years. We get to see that, and it's beautiful. And I love being a part of it. I'm so grateful that I get to be a part of this mission. A new center. So Hope Center is a really big thing. We're growing, and we're expanding. So we opened up 9 Hope Centers in 2023, and we opened up 12 Hope Centers in 2024. And I'm not sure how many we've opened this year. I think it's somewhere around 4 or 5. But Hope Center, I know many of you might not know, Hope Center is not just a local organization. We're a worldwide organization. We have 50 Hope Centers in America, and we have 61 centers worldwide, with 11 being international. And so this is a big operation, and we're continuously growing. And we have an amazing success rate at 67%, and that's much better than many other rehabs if you look at and I don't like to call it a rehab. We're a discipleship program. This thing's all about Jesus. A number that I like to talk about is the 91% number. And what that 91% means, that means 91% of the money that Hope Center spends goes right back into the program. So 91% of all funds coming out of Hope Center is to build and progress Hope Center. All the money that's coming in is to go to build more Hope Centers, to improve the centers that we have, to create a better environment, to create a better quality program for the men. So that way we can see more lives saved, more souls given over to Jesus Christ. And hopefully we get more people off of these streets. I'm telling you, I'm tired of seeing people die. I'm tired of hearing about friends dying, family dying. I'm tired about hearing people walking up and down the streets lost and broken. I'm tired of it. And it's going to take a church. It takes a community. It takes people to rise up and say, this is enough. This is enough. I appreciate you. So I'm going to call up Ryan Morgan. He's one of our graduates, and he's going to come up and he's going to tell you a little bit about his experience.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Ryan. I guess I'm going to do a little testimony, kind of walk you through how bad off I was, how the Hope Center and God and Jesus Christ saved my life, and what I'm doing now. I was a really, really bad alcoholic. Sorry, I'm being a little... growing up, started drinking probably high school like every other kid does, partying and all that. My parents always figured, oh, him and his friends are going to drink, so my house was kind of the party spot rather than be, safe and somewhere they knew where you were. But it just got worse and worse. By college, I had a little mini fridge in my room, and I was drinking every day. As we got older, going to the bar all the time. Everything that me and my friends did revolved around drinking, whether it was going to the beach, going to the river, whatever we were doing, concerts, everything revolved around drinking. And yeah, it just got really, really bad, to the point where I knew I needed a change. And Julie had family out here, so we moved from California out to Tennessee, and I thought things would get better. I was wrong. I needed help. A change wasn't going to do anything. I just went to the same old habits in a different place. I found a new bar here, found all new bar friends, and it was the same cycle repeating itself. And it was just digging myself deeper and deeper into a hole of despair that I couldn't get out of. I knew that I wanted to change. I'd sit in my room and drink, and I'd pray to God that I needed help. But there was still the devil attacking me, putting thoughts in my head. Oh, you go to rehab, that's too expensive, leave the house, leave your family, leave your job. You can't do all that. All these things that I felt like I was held back from. But through the grace of God, Julie's parents, Dave and Patty, they come to church here. A lot of you know them. And they heard about the Hope Center. And Julie was at her wit's end. I mean, my poor children, Brooklyn and Hunter, bless them for still loving me and sticking by me. Bless Julie for still sticking by me. But she was ready to kick me out. She was done. So she gave me the ultimatum. Here's the deal. We're going to take you to detox. I got a place set up. There's a place at Hope Center you can go. It's going to be a year. And I kicked and screamed and fought, but I went. Reluctantly, but I went. So I did the detox, came to the Hope Center. Even got in an argument with Jesse and Ryan, the director at the time and the recovery pastor, in the driveway while they were trying to admit me and do something for me. I still was giving them a hard time about, a whole year? How am I going to do that? I can't. I got bills to pay. I got this. I got that. Still had the devil, in my ear trying to get me to not do this. But bless their hearts, they still admitted me, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. Going through the Hope Center, it took me a while to see that the place is really set up in a way. Like, it's really well thought out. We're all a bunch of egotistical men that come in there thinking we know everything. We've been doing everything our own way our whole lives, and you're not going to change that. But they break you down to build you up. They immediately... They get the presence of God in your heart. Bless Terry and Aubrey and Dawn and Ron. They give their time twice a week. They come out and they share the word of the Lord with us. We do Celebrate Recovery, and as a first phase, you're at the house. You don't go to VT yet, and you do Bible studies, and they really get the word of the Lord into you. You do chores, but it's one of those things. You got to humble yourself, and we all know that God detests pride and ego, and every one of these men are full of pride and ego, myself especially. And as you go through the center, you see all the little things that they do. It's working its way to building you back up to being the person that you need to be, a person in Christ, a person that has goals and values and is just looking for something better than our old, broken, just awful lives. And at some point, I really did embrace a Hope Center. I learned to love it there. I know it's hard for you new guys to hear that and think that that's the case, but trust me, when I left, I knew I was going to miss a place. You get comfortable there. You have all your brothers there. It's a wonderful thing. But nothing but Jesus Christ and the grace of God and the Hope Center being that conduit to me finding that was going to change me and help me be the person I am today. Now, a lot of you know I still volunteer with the Hope Center. I counsel a guy, my buddy Scotty here. Still go to Bible studies with him. Still coming to church. You got to still going to family support. I found that you got to stay in that routine. Once you get disconnected from the church and from Bible studies and all that, you're going to fall back into your old habits. You got to cut off all your old friends. Like I said, all my buddies that I made out here, they were all bar friends. They weren't real friends. But I've got all friends, brothers here in the Hope Center. That I mean, you can't ask for better people. We're all striving toward a better life. We're all striving to just follow a life that pleases God, and that's really all it's about. The Hope Center is just an amazing place, and if Dave and Patty wouldn't have found that, and if Julie wouldn't have given me that push in the right direction to go, a big old kick, who knows where I'd be today. I definitely wouldn't be standing here talking to this wonderful church and just expressing my love for all of you guys and for the Hope Center and for God and Jesus Christ for just changing my life for the better and bringing me back to my family and rebuilding those relationships that I'd broken. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be saying. Ricky called me on Thursday and said, we need you to come and talk. So I'm kind of winging it here. But, I mean, once again, the Hope Center, it's just a wonderful place for any man, woman that just needs rebuilding in their life, needs structure, and needs to find God. I mean, that's really all it's about. So, I just thank you all for hearing me this morning and let me talk. And thank you, Julie, for being there with me and sticking by me, Hunter and Brooke, and Dave and Patty for all of your unconditional love. Thank you, Ricky, for always being there and just guiding me. And all you brothers out there, just stick with this. Trust me, it's the best thing you'll ever do. You guys see me every week, and I'm the happiest I've ever been, and I hope that shines through. I hope you guys see that it's really, really, it's going to change your life. Just ride this process out. I know it's hard at times, absolutely, but what in life is easy that's worth it? Thank you guys for everything.
That was wonderful, Ryan. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I can't believe all these guys are sitting in the front today. I constantly tell them, don't sit in the back. Because that way the latecomers got to have some place. In case you didn't know it, a lot of people come late to Murray Hills. So don't feel bad if you come late. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I tell you, it's hard to talk about this without getting emotional. When I retired after 41 years at Columbia State, Russ was out at the college for some kind of, I think it was an awards day or something, the President's Medal he came out to see, being honored. And I said to Russ, I'm looking forward to putting more time and effort into my ministry at Murray Hills. And he yelled out, I'm going to hold you to that. And I believe, David, I've about halfway done it, haven't I? This is my life. I love this church. I love everything about it. I love our commitment to the community. It wouldn't be wonderful if all churches did that. All churches. Thinking about all the money they squirrel away and do nothing with it, but just keep building and building and building, whatever. Hey, why not use it for the public good? And this program is for the public good. I love being at the Hope House. I love these guys. A lot of them are going to be lifetime friends. I can remember when they first came in. You ought to see them when they first come in. It is so cool. Hey, Bobby, you want to come up here and illustrate it? Bobby's like this. The first day, they're like this. They won't even look at you. About 2 weeks, you get them up to about here. What's going on around here? Now, Bobby, he's like this now. Yeah. It's unbelievable, the transition. Every one of them. They can try not to do that. And it just happens. Bobby, you're a great example. I think the only person was worse than you when they came in was Sean. Sean. Remember Sean? You don't remember Sean. Sean had hair down to about here. And boy, he was sitting in the hallway. He wasn't even sitting in there with us. He leaned against the wall. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. But look what's happened to him. Sean has become a real leader. You know, a real leader. And I'm so proud of you, Sean. I love you to death, brother. I love you to death. I love being at the Hope House. I just Hope Center. It's just such a rewarding thing because most of my life, you know, I was a mentor. I was not just a teacher. I was a mentor, and I have a lot of experience. I wasn't addicted to drugs or anything like that, but I've got a pretty colorful life, as most of y'all can probably what? Imagine. It was something, you know, and I thought I had something to give. And when Terry and Don and I come out there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I go out there on Friday nights. And that's one of the big nights, Ricky, for me, because we get to meet the families. And that's such a critical thing because Jesse talked about that. You know, seeing those families get back together, seeing the kids roaming around while we're having the service. We have a little service, and then they get to be with their families. Sometimes we have something to eat. But it's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience, you know. And the families that are here today, I know, you know, they need you. You know, they need you. They need you to forgive them. They need you to forgive them. The hardest thing for them to do is forgive themselves. And that takes a lot of time, you know. When they admit they have a problem, when they come in that door, the 12 steps, and by the way, Terry and Don and I, we go through the 12 steps. It's been good for me, absolutely good for me. You know, I think about it all the time. Who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to forgive? And that's a big deal, that forgiveness. Because once you forgive yourself, you know, then you can learn to what? Forgive other people. You know, and that's one of the 12 steps. But I tell you, I just love going there. It's just a huge part of my life. You know, there's so many of these guys, I could tell you stories about them, you know, because we have our private sessions and stuff. It's just mind-boggling what they've gone through. You know, I thought I had it bad, you know, because I grew up very poor. You know, 6 brothers and sisters and 3 rooms in an attic. My father was an abusive alcoholic. He beat my mother on a regular basis. You know, so I had some background helpful to me in understanding some of their backgrounds. Because some of them are horrific. Horrific. And to be able to come to the Hope Center and do what they do. Let me tell you a little secret, folks. It's hard. And I'm yelling that out because it is hard. You got to be determined. Now, they've got a process in place. You know, the different phases and stuff like that where they grow and grow and grow. But when they come in there the first time, it's tough. It's tough. You get up at 4:30 in the morning. You have devotional. You have breakfast. You know, and then they go to work. The majority of them now are going to work. They come home from work and they get back into their Bible studies again. You know, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And a lot of them work outside and it's really hot and stuff like that. But you're telling me, you know, that they can't do this. They can do it. And I encourage them. That's my middle name, encouragement. I mean, I'm going to encourage them. Like in college, you know, kids would come up to me, I want to be a brain surgeon. Well, I'm thinking more like maybe a teacher or maybe working at Walmart or something like that. But these guys have so much to offer the community. That's one of the things, Jesse, that has really blown me away about this program. How smart these guys are. Terrible choices. No question about it. Terrible, terrible, terrible choices. But they're smart. They have street smarts. And they have smart smarts. And I look forward to several of them going on to college. They can do it. Nobody's ever made them do it. You know, and that's the thing about the house. It's very structured, folks. Very structured. You know, and that's what they need more than anything in their life is what? Structure. They need structure. And we're there to help them do it. Now, when we do group, the 2 days a week, we spend a lot. We're not the big spiritual advisors. That's other people's jobs. But we talk about what? we talk about life. And I think most of my students would tell you they learned more about life in my classes than they did about geography. I was laughing out there. I heard somebody laugh. But I would share personal stories and stuff like that. And believe me, when I'm counseling some of these guys, hey, I get very personal. I mean, that's one of the things I love about Russ. You know, he's not afraid to get personal, and he's not afraid to use a lot of what? Humor. And I'm telling you, we go to the house. Do we cut up, boys? Don't be looking at me like that, Bobby. Don't be putting an eye on me. I'm watching you. I love you too, almost. But let me say this, and Dave already mentioned it. We need volunteers. You know, it's not that hard. It's very rewarding. We desperately need volunteers. You can do it like an hour a week. I do my counseling with my person on Friday nights, on family night. You come over there for an hour. You come out there during the day. You guys, especially that are retired. And the good thing about it, and we meet at the college, and then 25 minutes, 20 minutes, you're at the Hope Center. It's all set up, we're ready to go, and it's just a great experience. I'm encouraging each and every one of you men in here to do something like this. You will not be sorry. Believe me, it has been one of the biggest blessings in my life to be part of this place. And I have been blessed. I was blessed in terms of where I grew up. I was blessed in college. God blessed me with a lot of things. But 19 years ago, I joined Murray Hills. And that's the best thing that ever happened in my life, other than my beautiful wife marrying me. Right, Judy? But it's a blessing. I have this thing I do, a testimony with the new guys. And I talk about all the times in my life that I've been blessed. Over and over and over again. There's always been somebody what? There for me. To point me in the right direction. I didn't always go in that right direction. But people pointed me in that direction. And that's the purpose of the Hope Center. We're going to point you in the right direction. We're going to encourage you. We're going to tell you that you can do this. When somebody leaves prematurely, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit. But I still love them. We hug, we laugh, we cry. It's just a wonderful experience. God has truly blessed me to put this in my life. I'm going to do it until I die. I'll be up here, 25 years from now, like, okay, y'all come on down to the Home Center. Hey, no cross talking. What are you doing? Listen, I appreciate y'all supporting this and talking about the gala. If you got some resources and stuff like that, it takes money to run this place. It takes money. They got a beautiful place. I mean, you ought to come out there sometime. You can eat off the floors. It is so clean. It is so clean. It is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful place. And I just thank God every single day. I thank God every single day that he's made me part of this program. Thank you.
You want to do it? Thank you, Aubrey. All right, church, we just want to say a big thank you again. Thank you for everything that you all do for us. Thank you for the support, the prayers, and the donations and everything. I'm going to pray for us, and then we'll be dismissed. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you so much. Thank you for today. Thank you for the testimonies, Lord. Thank you for, Lord, a loving church and an awesome community that supports, Lord, the freedom that is found in Jesus Christ. Lord, help us to just be mindful, Lord, that we can make a difference. We can make an impact in someone's lives, God. Help us. Put it in our hearts. Lord, fill us with your Spirit and bless our day. In Jesus' name, amen.